this is That Talking Podcast. I'm JJ Starr.
And I'm Downtown Andy.
Welcome. We're here to talk and bring some civil discourse to an otherwise discordant world. It's a gloomy Monday, but I don't mind the rain. It got pretty rainy. We got pretty wet.
I got a love-hate relationship with the rain.
Yeah?
Like, there are days where I'm like, I'm so glad it rained when I'm working and not on my day off so I can enjoy my day off. But then when it rains on my day off, I'm like, at least I don't have to work in that.
Yeah. I feel that I've always felt that way about the snow. The rain I've always enjoyed because I don't mind getting wet. But but I felt bad. I felt bad because I was walking the dog in the rain and it really built up. And I'm like, she's old. I can't yank her anymore. I can't pull her along. But it's all right. It's all right. How you doing? Yeah. You only got one more work day till you get a nice long weekend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody.
Yes, happy St. Patrick's Day to
the time of airing.
To the time of airing, it will be St. Patrick's Day. Happy birthday to a couple of people I know, and happy All Snakes Day to everybody else. All the snakes, all the schlongs.
Look at all the schlongs. Go get your corned beef and buttered potatoes. Oh man, I need a Reuben.
Buttered potatoes
for all of Dingle.
Is that a thing?
No.
Is that an Irish thing? I mean, potatoes.
So
we're
not Irish, but my mother observed all the major holidays for some reason. Like,
the ones that you decorate for.
Yeah. And every year on St. Patrick's Day, she'd always have a corned beef and a pot of like cabbage and boiled potatoes going, like, and I'm just like, this stinks.
God, that seriously, nothing about that sounds good.
I mean, she must have enjoyed it.
Boiled cabbage.
Yeah, boiled cabbage and potatoes. And the thing is, like, I mean, I enjoy a good corned beef. Like, I've been getting Reubens now for like 12-ish years.
Is there another word for corned beef?
Pastrami.
Is it the same thing?
No. So the way it's been explained to me, and I'm saying it that way because it's the way it's been explained to me. I don't take it as gospel. Okay, is that corned beef is the brisket with just salt, and pastrami is it with the black pepper and the other coating that it's cooked with.
Okay,
they're
both beef though.
They're both beef.
They're both a form of spiced roast beef.
Yes.
Roast beast. Yes. Got it. I don't know these things. I've never been a big client of the deli counter.
Well, I mean, there's a difference between like the processed, deli cuts that most people get for their sandwiches, and then stuff like corn, like, because I've made a lot of briskets, like a lot of corned beef briskets, and it is just the hunk of meat that you smoke or slow roast or crock pot, whatever. And I remember I briefly worked at a deli counter. And I'm slicing a pastrami for somebody one time, and I'm just like, "This is fucking delicious. Why have I been reluctant to try this for so long?
Why have I deprived myself for so long?"
And then I'm like, "Well, if this tastes good, the corned beef can't be that bad." And I'm like, "The corned beef is even better." And then I started getting Reubens, and I'm just like, "All right, well, the Thousand Island or the Russian dressing goes with it, and the sauerkraut goes." I'm like, "All right, I'll give it a shot." The culmination of it all is supposed to. The concoction is what people go for. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna dive head first, and from that first bite, I'm like, oh my god! And I used to get them at Subway, the big hot pastrami. The funny thing about Subway's big hot pastrami was that they gave you so much. They fucking loaded that thing with corned beef.
Did they actually?
Or not corned beef, with pastrami. Oh yeah, no, it was. They gave you so much more meat on that sandwich than they did on anything else. Because anything else, they're like meticulously measuring like how many
like
slices,
6 slices,
and they're like folding them in half, and it's like, are you? That's not what I'm fucking paying for. No, because it was already pre-measured, and the pastrami it was in these giant cups, and they just dump them in and then stick it in the toaster.
I think I've seen them make those.
I can just hear Rhodey in the back of my head right now going, "Big hot pastrami." And that with some brown mustard and Swiss cheese.
Oh my God. You are describing what I can only imagine are some of the stinkiest sandwiches ever made.
They were some of the best sandwiches ever.
Yeah.
But nobody beats Theo's here in town, especially on St. Patrick's Day or the day after.
Yeah.
because they get
that day after corned beef is already.
They get the marble rye. They get the fresh corned beef. Oh,
he took my marble rye.
Shut up, you old bag. Anyway, we are not Irish. We do not, celebrate. But day after,
not even a little bit.
Day after is our wedding anniversary,
yeah.
And I always love that. I went to Theo's before the wedding, and I'm like, this is my last Reuben as a single man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you were legally single.
It was my last Reuben as a single man, though.
As an unmarried man. As an unmarried man, and
no more pale, lumpy women for me.
That's a good one. We should make that a rule. No pale, lumpy women.
Should put that on a t-shirt.
And we'll sell a larger size t-shirt that just says pale, lumpy women for the pale, lumpy women.
I don't know. Do we really want to pander to them?
No, not particularly. Do you think they listen to this show? The pale, lumpy women?
I'm sure they've caught it a couple episodes.
Yeah.
Well, because somebody was probably like, they're talking about
shake their fist at the sky, being like, I can't believe they said this about me.
I can't believe they said this. I mean, I know a couple pale, lumpy women. I mean, do you know any?
Do I know pale, lumpy women? Hell yeah, I do. Hell yeah, I do. I know some pale, lumpy women. Maybe some pale, lumpy women too. But I know some pale, lumpy women.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Ha-ha! I'd like to think that
It's a Will Smith ha-ha.
I'm like, ha-ha! Say ho! I'm glad not to fall into that category, and I hope to always stay out of it.
I'm very glad to not fall into that category.
You are neither pale nor lumpy.
I've tried so hard in my life to not become a pale, lumpy woman.
I think you've succeeded thus far, and I think you continue to excel. Gold star for you, my friend.
Gold star.
Hell,
you know what else I get a gold star for?
Tell me. Come on. Gimme.
For not breaking the rules.
Not breaking the rules. Not these rules, but the 3 rules we have here in De Buble. For the sake of civility, no judgment, nothing personal, and don't be
a pale, lumpy woman.
Don't be a pale, lumpy woman. Is the new way of saying don't be a dick. We're gonna go into season 3 here in a few weeks, and I think we're gonna have to institute that. No pale, lumpy women.
Like no fat chicks?
Yeah, like no fat chicks, exactly. Like that's the no fat chicks of today. Oh man.
Should we let them in on it?
No.
Okay. Right.
I think they can.
Maybe later, maybe next season.
There are a few of you out there who understand what we're talking about, so you tell the others.
Yeah.
I
broadcast it.
I have been really sort of diving face first. I don't think I've been doing it recently, but I have in my adulthood been fond of some good old fashioned trash TV.
Yeah, I know.
I have.
I know, because we were indulging before we started recording.
We were. Well, I was. I think you were trying really hard to ignore it.
I wasn't trying to ignore it. I was trying to focus on the interview I was trying to watch.
Yeah, I kept trying to keep the volume down, but I'm like, listen, I'm leaning closer and closer.
I've said this before, okay? Like I've said it to you. I've said it on the podcast. I've said it to other people. There have been some things that you have introduced me to in the tenure of our relationship that I've given a lot of things a chance. You have to agree. I've given a lot of things
absolutely.
Am I particularly fond of RuPaul's Drag Race? No.
Which is fine.
But will I give some attention to it while you have it on? I mean,
sometimes you can't help it. Sometimes you can't.
Well, when I hear a pale, lumpy woman crying her eyes out over being left at a bus stop, like it's really hard.
It is hard not to ignore something like that.
It was a heartbreaking story. I feel bad. Like
there are. I mean, then that's just it. Is that I feel like moments like that sort of cancel out some of like the teeth grinding moments. Because there are moments where even I'm just like, oh my God. I'm like,
yeah, when they try to sing. But then you have to remember it's made for television. Like,
exactly.
these bitches probably can sing. They're just pretending not to for making an episode.
There are those moments. I mean, and a lot of this shit is edited together.
Right.
I mean, you gotta see, everybody signs an NDA when it comes to reality TV, so you can't say, oh, well, I didn't actually say that. I didn't do that.
When you buy the DVDs and you look at the bonus features, that's when you're going to see all the bits that got cut out.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we've been watching Simpsons before going to bed, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I don't remember that as part of this episode because Fox used to, for time's sake, cut out, this little bit here and that little bit there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I pointed out one. I'm like, she's passable.
Yeah.
Or I was flipping through social media the other night and I saw a clip from Saturday Night Live where it's Nirvana, RuPaul, and who was the host that night? I can't remember. Oh, it was Charles Barkley. And Cobain is just sitting there like eating a brownie or something. And then RuPaul's got his arm around Chris Novoselic and they're like, starting to skank or something like that. Like, and I'm just, oh my God, that fucker is tall.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But like some of the like the commercial screen, where he's in the racing suit, and that smile he's making, that's cringy because it's so fake and it's so in your face and it's just like, ugh. Like I've said this a million times. Like I have no problem with gays, trans,
right?
With the
that's not what it's about.
The drag performers and stuff but the over accentuation, the moments and the looks and the stuff that's meant to be thrown in your face for shock and awe value.
Yeah,
that makes me really uncomfortable.
Now, hear me out. Hear me out. On one hand, you have your wife, me. You have me. Sort of binging old episodes. And we're talking old. These are old episodes.
Yeah, this was 2013, I think it's
yeah.
Yeah.
RuPaul's Drag Race. Okay. But on the other hand,
I still would like to play in RuPaul's Punk Band though.
Hell yeah. I would want to. I want to watch you play in RuPaul's Punk Band.
Because if you can't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love everybody? What have you done to me?
Now let me
Can I get an amen?
Amen. Now, let me ask you this. On the one hand, you have your wife binging RuPaul's Drag Race around you.
Let's beat these bitches.
But on the other hand, I also go to old episodes of The Great British Bake Off.
Yeah.
Okay. Also something that you've sort of picked up.
Plenty of gay people on that show.
There are plenty of gay people on that show too.
Well, no Fielding.
There was someone on this last episode, on this last season, who said she was a drag king. But that's not the point. My point is that I sort of flip-flop back and forth between the two of them, depending upon how much drama I want to stomach that day, or that I can stomach that day. Because I look at the Great British Bake Off as one of the most heartwarming shows I've ever seen on TV, especially when it comes to reality TV or reality competition and everything, because there's nothing, technically speaking, there's nothing at stake.
I mean, there is, but like when you first described it to me, you're just like, they're just doing this, to show off their talents and cook for each other and, just for like props with each. But the thing is, it's a competition.
It is.
And at the end, it comes down to the final three and, there's no money, there's no cash prizing, there's no trip to, Spain or anything like that. There's just, you're the winner of that season.
That's it. You get an engraved cake stand.
And notoriety.
But just being
on
maybe. But just being on that show and especially making it to the finals, like if you want this to be a career, that's just it. All these people are amateurs. They're not necessarily trying to make this a career. Maybe some of them are, but like they're willing along the way to sort of help each other.
I mean, I've had reality TV on as background noise before. Like I've seen the Jersey Shore. WWE used to do Tough Enough.
Yeah.
Fucking like, and then after so much of it, it's like, I understand that this is made for TV. Like this is made, this is for a specific audience, for a specific objective.
It's sort of like, when for some reason they start saying things are unscripted, like they start very like seriously interjecting that this is unscripted. It's like, no, it's not. Nothing is unscripted. except maybe an ad lib here and there. But
Right.
it's like everything is scripted.
Yeah.
But when it comes to competition, not just on TV.
Did we talk about this before?
Did we?
I feel I think we've tackled this at some point.
We've
certainly talked about the Great British Bake Off.
Oh yeah, obviously, because it comes back every year, just like back to school season. They do it every year. I love that you told me that. That's going to be one of your all-time top zingers.
I just imagine the iPhone balloons just covering the screen now.
Yeah. I wish I knew how to do that on this video. Imagine it, people. Imagine it. I love the idea that there exists a sect of people who are willing to help each other. Because when I watch RuPaul's Drag Race, I mean, edited or not, these bitches are cutthroat. Like, they look at each other and they're just like, oh, she's doing something wrong, but I'm not going to tell her. And it's just like, I wonder, I wonder about, because people like that drive me crazy.
Well, I mean, I was asking you earlier because some of these dudes are so incredibly flamboyant. But
yes.
then again, that could be them, that could be television. But I said, I'm just like, how much backstage like fooling around do you think is going on? Because I've known a lot of flamboyant gay guys, and they're all trying to grab each other's junk.
Oh, I've known plenty myself,
yeah,
for sure. But I think that in a situation like, for one thing, I would not doubt that contractually, like while filming, they're not allowed to.
Yeah, but what Rue don't know won't get them kicked off the show.
Listen, but in one of the older seasons, someone did break the rules and they did get kicked off the show. So it was a scandalo.
So does that mean that if one of us breaks the rules, we're getting kicked off the show?
Well, as the co-presidents here, I think we would have to take a vote. It would only be fair to put it to a vote. Vote of the board.
That's not fair because she's going to vote for you every chance she gets. That's
no,
biased.
she knows. No, she's not. She tries not to be biased.
Uh-huh.
She does. Her love for me is endless.
All right. Well, if you break the rules, I'm replacing you with her.
Oh my God!
We'll just prop her up in that chair,
and you'll just talk at her.
We'll put her jacket on,
and she'll just be like this.
Maybe we can train her to smile like David Letterman.
That's her smile. I can just imagine you replacing me with her. I think it would be funny. Maybe she'll sub for me one day.
And then the week after, we'll replace me with you, and then you talk to her.
We could do that. We'll do that. I don't know. I don't.
Anyway, where is this coming from? Why are you?
I was just saying, like, can you think of any other competitive situation where people are actually kind to each other?
Competitive situation where people are kind.
Where people are actually kind to each other.
I mean, the one that automatically comes to mind is the Battle of the Bands we just did last year. Was it last year? Yeah, it had to be last year. Yeah, at Toads on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
Because I think there were 5 bands, and we came in second. And like, I mean, I personally didn't really care. It's like, what is this going to do for us?
Yeah.
Like, it's just a chance to play a really nice stage,
Which you were already playing a nice stage during the competition.
And the band that won, we got to be friends with, and we talked, and they were really good, and we were telling them how, and they're like, "Oh, you guys were so great too," and blah blah blah. And it's just like, yeah, I mean, it's because we weren't battling it, like we weren't trying to win money, we weren't trying to get a trophy, we weren't trying to get in some sort of like fucking magazine or some shit like that. It was just like we were just having a good time.
Do you think it would have been different if there had been stakes, for lack of a better way of putting it?
I think that probably would have motivated the rest of us to push ticket sales a little bit harder. I mean, it's already a tough sell.
Was that taken into account?
What?
Ticket sales?
Yes.
Really?
Tickets. Anytime a venue's making you sell tickets, they're always taking that into account. Like every time we played the break contest at the Chance, they you had to sell a minimum 40 tickets. Minimum. Every band, there was like 10, 15 bands on every bill, and every band, in order to play, had to sell a minimum 40 tickets. So we were out there hustling the shit out of it because all the friends and family were like, we have to do this show because if we win, we get to go play Bamboozle Festival.
Right.
With big names.
Yeah.
And that's more visibility for us.
Relatively big names.
Well, I mean, at the time, it would have been huge for us.
Yeah.
But it was just like, they want a minimum 40 tickets. That's unheard of.
That's a lot of tickets.
We sold like 40 to 50 every time, and we did 3 shows. only to be, you know,
did those people show up?
Shoveled off, most of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Only to be shoveled off by
because, you know, because
douchebag from Matchbook Romance.
Because, you know, you don't fit the bamboozle bill.
It doesn't fucking matter if we can
make it. Shouldn't matter.
If we can make the company money, like, what do you care what we sound like?
Right? But that, yeah.
Tells me that they're fucking terrible business people.
But that's just it, is that I think that it's a shame. I think that it's a gosh darn shame that when there are stakes involved, the claws come out.
Yeah. The scissor hands come out.
The scissor hands come out. I think that it's really a shame. And I wish that it wasn't like that.
Everybody wishes it wasn't like it. But what are you supposed to do about that?
I don't know.
You know?
I really don't. It's sort of like, you know, like work, and it reminds me of like working with other people, you know, that like, and this whole idea that like, in order for one person to succeed, they have to tear down others. Like, what happened to working together?
That doesn't have to be the case. That's how that's what people choose for themselves in certain circumstances. Like,
it seems like a personality flaw.
Like, I remember when they asked me at my job to start working the desk, you know, and you have to be asked for that because they have to, you know that you're not going to fuck things up and that you're going to, you know, be willing to learn and to, you know, follow orders and shit like that, you know, because it's better pay, it's, you know, different hours, you get to wear whatever you want, you know, sort of thing, and you also get to sit around and basically do nothing most of the day. It's true. I did it. I know what it's like.
But it seems like something that not a lot of people want to do. It seems like,
I mean, the people that are doing it now are sticking with it, you know, but I mean, I saw too much of what goes on behind the scenes, and I'm just like, I can't be party to this. Like,
you saw how the sausage is made.
I saw how the sausage was made. And I'm now perfectly content just doing my job as is, because I don't want to work for them.
You know, I feel like I've seen in too many situations where people they get really competitive in a team setting, because it's like, if you're not shining, if you're not standing out for the, you know, then you know, if you're not better than everybody, then you're worse. It's like, there is no team spirit, there is no team effort.
Well, I mean, you know, realistically, same scenario at my job, you know, we're supposed to be part of a team, like we're supposed to, you know, but the problem is that most people are in it for themselves.
Yeah.
And where people, you know, tend to slack off, the ones who, you know, go that extra mile have to clean up after them.
Yeah.
I do it every day, you know? And, you know, at one point when I was the union steward, and it was my job to, you know, kind of rally the troops and be like, listen, you know, we're down this many people, but, you know, we'll pull through, you know, we're all working overtime. We're all, you know, overworked and underpaid and blah, 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 blah. And everybody kind of just turned their nose up at me. They're just like, who the fuck are you to tell us? Like, you know, yeah.
Like, I don't understand that. I really don't.
There was no camaraderie. There just wasn't.
I don't know. It seems to me like, you know, it's like when I keep thinking, like, my brain is filling with examples of this. Like, think about putting on a play, a school play even, or a band concert or something like that, right? You are an ensemble working together. Why would you not want the entire group to be a success? Why would you not want to help everybody out and try and, you know, what can I do? It's like, you know, it's like, well, I'm the star of this show, so I'm going to overact so that everybody sees me as the breakout role. It's like, yeah, but then you're making the rest of the company look like shit.
Because people have bitter and selfish tendencies.
Like, I want to punch them.
I don't like it either, but, you know, like, you know, I mean, I'm full of personal examples here. Like, back when I was still in the last band I was in, you know, we used to do cover shows every either Christmas or Halloween or whatever. And I was always a stickler for getting the covers like on point. Like, they have to be perfect. They have to be as close to the original, you know, because that's what people are expecting to hear. And I was essentially the only person in the band who practiced my instrument outside of, you know, scheduled rehearsal.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's why I was able to, you know, it always bothered me that I put so much more effort than everybody else into, doing my job to the best of my ability. It's like, I know you have more time than you're letting on.
Yeah.
Like, commit some extra time to doing it right. Like, why? Because otherwise we're going to look stupid. And sure as shit, we did look stupid because, if somebody couldn't hear themselves, the whole show stopped. And that happened multiple times. People flub bits and pieces here and there. And it's just like, why the fuck did I spend all this time learning this stuff that I really couldn't have like when we did The Nightmare Before Christmas? Like, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I'm not even the biggest fan of the movie, but it's just like, I am not going to go up there and look like I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And you watched me binge that movie over and over and over again to get these songs down.
Yeah, I did.
Same band previously did a Bad Religion cover set. Never listened to Bad Religion before in my life. I learned their whole Greatest Hits album because, like, I wanted to go in there and look like I know what I'm doing. Because, again, if I don't do my part, then I can be held accountable for contributing to making the group look bad.
I have been I feel like I've been in too many situations where I admit, not that I've tried to help people do better, like tried to help them succeed, but like encouraged them to know that they can succeed. And I've even felt bad about that because I feel like when you're involved in a situation like that, you can't help but think, at least for me, I've been in situations with jobs where like I keep thinking that like if I'm not setting a standard for the quality of my own work, regardless of what everyone around me is doing, I will eventually be overlooked or overshadowed or outshone and things like that. I have worried that if I have said no to doing certain jobs or taking on certain responsibilities, that I will be looked over and someone else will take that job from me. And it's not that other people don't deserve it, but I've never in my life tried to take it away from other people. I've never been that person.
You've never taken somebody's boyfriend?
I want very badly to say no.
Well, we were talking about that. Wasn't there some movie that you watched where that...
What were we doing?
What were we talking about?
What were we talking about?
Some story.
No.
You said it on like last episode or the one before.
That I took someone's boyfriend?
No, you read it in a book. You're just or saw it somewhere where. Oh, it was the Sweeney show.
Oh, with the Sween Queen.
The Sween Queen, yeah.
Yes.
Where she started dating somebody's ex after they broke up.
Yes, but everyone was saying that she stole her.
Okay.
She stole the boyfriend.
You didn't steal anybody's boyfriend.
No, I didn't steal. Not this time.
What?
But that's just it. Is that like
from a pale, lumpy woman?
I have never wanted to, and so I avoid being the type of person who will tear somebody down for the sake of building myself back up. Like in the event of if we all succeed, we all get raised up. Yeah, we all reap the benefits. It's like, why the fuck not?
I mean, you and I have had a lot of conversations about me finally giving up, like offering myself up to people because they don't live up to my expectations.
Yeah.
Now the thing is, like both at my jobs and my bands, I've always tried to make myself available for assistance. It's like, if you need to know anything or if you need help or if I can be of use in any way, like my phone is always on. You always hear me say that to people. My phone is always on, day or night, even on my days off. And there's somebody now. It's spam. And it's just like, but the thing is that I, as Michelangelo Badio would say, I've given them the keys to the Lamborghini. And they soil themselves all over my new sports car. Like,
they misuse. They abuse it even.
either they underutilize or they
Yeah.
miss, because you know, at work it's like, okay, on my days off somebody's covering my route, and it's like, okay, I know where everything is.
Mm-hmm.
If you need to know where something is, you call me, you text
Right.
me. Even if it's not me, call, text somebody else, they'll give you the answer. Don't take a shot in the dark and hope for the best. But that's
Right.
what they always do. And nothing ever gets solved that way,
Yeah.
because, they think they know better, or they don't want to be bothered to stop. And then I end up getting frustrated, but that falls on deaf ears because nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah.
And then I have to clean up their mess anyway.
Yeah.
In band situations, like, I've always been a stickler for being over prepared. But, better to have it and not need it. Better to be ready, overly ready to go. And, it's like, but so many times I've been assured by bandmates, it's just like, yeah, I'm good. And then been completely let down because they were not prepared.
Do you think that they're being selfish?
No, I think they're all being lazy.
Lazy.
I think both in my band experiences and work experiences, they're all just fucking lazy.
So they're not trying to fuck you over maliciously.
No, there's always an excuse. Oh, I had this, I had my kids, or I had my job, or I had my other thing going on, or it's like, I only have so much time in the day. And it's just like, I know plenty of people who have all that shit going on and then some, and still make the time to honor their commitments.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
I just feel like it's too rare nowadays that people are actually willing to help each other, to the point where people get suspicious when you try and help them.
But see, that's why I've gotten so incredibly frustrated, because I've made myself available.
Yeah.
People fuck up. I point it out to them, and I try and do it in the nicest way possible, because I'm not a very nice person when it comes to this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like, if you're gonna deliberately disregard my instructions because you want to do it your own way, or you think there's a better way, or whatever, like, if you can show me a better way, I will zip my lip, and you can, I'll do it your way. But like, so many times I've tried to stress the importance of what we do to the people under me, and they just don't give a fuck. Because they continually make the mistake, and they always have an excuse for it. And I'm like, you don't seem to understand how your action or lack thereof is affecting not me, but other people.
Yeah.
The customers, the people who are expecting certain things, and it's you're charged with the task of delivering it to them.
Yeah. You think it's laziness?
I know it's laziness.
Does it become selfishness?
Because they don't care. They don't put the significance on the same pedestal that I do, or that anybody else in the job does. Because again, like, I've told you horror stories about, stuff that gets misdelivered or doesn't get delivered or whatever. And, a lot of these people that I'm referencing without naming names, all they're focused on is either getting done as fast as they can and just getting out.
Yeah.
Or, which is where most mistakes happen. Or, I've been told, like, I want to figure it out on my own. I'm like, yeah, you can. That's all well and good until, the mistake you keep making doesn't get corrected.
Do you think that any of these people, do you think that they are intentionally shunning your advice? Like, do you think they're intentionally sort of shrugging you off?
No, I think they're so wrapped up in their own shit that it literally goes in one ear. Because I know how I am, and in order to commit something to memory, I've really got to beat it in. So when I know some bit of information being told to me is very, very important, and I know that I need to remember it, like, I'll use my own techniques to make sure I don't forget.
Yeah.
But you've pointed out to me that I can't expect other people to do things the way I would do, to put the same level of importance on them, and it's because I've made myself incredibly frustrated, like, over dwelling on this sort of stuff. And I had to let it go for my own peace of mind. Yeah. Because otherwise I'm going to drive myself fucking mad.
I mean, that was the same deal that I was dealing with too when it came to when I was working with other people. Is this idea that, like, I'm trying to help you so that the complaints you have about the work that needs to get done can be lightened a little bit. You know, you complain that certain tasks take a long time. I'm trying to offer you advice about how to do it more efficiently so that it doesn't take as much of your time, so that you don't have to worry about something like that. And it's either met these days, like it seems like a general rule that like advice like that and assistance on that sort of level is either met with, you know, sort of like this counterintuitive idea of, I know how to do it, don't try to help me. This sort of, you know, this brashness of putting a wall up, or it's met with suspicion, like, you know, like you are insisting that they do something a certain way because they don't know how to do it, or, you know, you're trying to like lord it over them, or you're trying to make them look inefficient in some way and everything. It's like, no, I'm just trying to make it so that I don't have more work for myself after you're done.
Like, what makes it worse is that, again, in both band and work scenarios, like, I've tried to go to the proper channels, like either my supervisor at work or other guys in the band, and be like, listen, you know, X, Y, and Z is happening. It's causing a problem. Like, something needs to be done. We all need to agree, you know, to have a plan.
Yeah.
You know, like something in the band we're always talking about, like, we need, like, you know, we need a plan. We need a mission statement, or we need, you know, direction. We need a goal set in mind, you know, to work towards. And at work, it's the same thing. We need clear, concise directions. But it seems as though every single time I think that going to the appropriate person is going to do some good, it falls on deaf ears. And it's like, I'm not concerned about my, like I'm used to cleaning up after people. Okay. I know that there's going to be a degree of that no matter what.
Yeah.
Okay. But my consideration is for everybody else.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, if the people that we work together with, no matter what scenario it is, if they're not doing their part, it's going to affect the overall outcome.
I wonder if there is such a thing as true. It makes me wonder, and this isn't like too far down the rabbit hole of this topic, but like it makes me wonder if anything like true altruism still exists.
It's few and far between. It's really few and far between.
I think it's sad. I think it's extremely sad.
Like I would love to. I get great satisfaction out of building other people up. I really do.
Yeah.
And I don't want anything in return. I don't want any sort of compensation. You know, verbal, monetary, anything like that. Like I've said to Rhodey for years, like, because I've watched him progress as a musician, and I've constantly sung his praises, not only to his face but to other people. I'm like, you should see where he is now, like where he was versus where he is now.
Yeah.
And I love doing that because I've watched it happen in real time.
Yeah.
And he's worked his ass off to get to the point that he's at now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm saying it on the fucking podcast. Like, all 95 countries can fucking hear it now.
Hopefully more by this time.
You know, but he puts the time in.
Yeah.
You know, I don't see a lot of people put that same level of effort in. Like, I was talking about the Children of Bodom concerts that happened recently.
Yeah.
And the guys who were involved with putting the whole production together also run like a music school, like some sort of like, you know, kids like rock camp in Finland or whatever. And there's this fucking 10-year-old kid who can shred just like Alexi Laiho did when he was still alive. And I'm like, I know grown adults who don't practice that much.
Yeah.
Like, and this kid can do things that I can't. Like, if that's not inspiration, I don't know what is.
It said a lot about women these days, honestly. It said that, like, you know, this whole, there needs to be this whole movement that people actually call attention to, is this whole idea of women supporting women. And the reason why so much attention is called to it is because apparently, traditionally speaking, women don't support other women. They say they do, but they don't, because of irrational jealousies. The idea that if one woman succeeds at something, it shines a light on her and her alone. And it's just like, what the fuck does that even mean? It means that only one can shine at a time, apparently.
You probably agree women are way more competitive with each other than men are.
God, yes. Yeah. Good God, yes.
Why?
I, you know, speaking as a woman, And I've been a woman.
Wait a minute, you're a woman.
What gave me away? As a woman, it blows my mind. Now, do not get me wrong. I think that it is something that God willing, that generations will grow out of. I'd like to believe that. Okay. But the fact of the matter is I believe that so many, and I hate, it feels like scapegoating, but like, I feel like so many girls are brought up to believe that there is a standard to which you are supposed to strive as far as being a woman. It gets you a good husband. It gets you a good job. It gets you money. It gets you, all of like the superficial things. And I say superficial because they're not necessarily what you want to be striving for, but you're told that it's the gold standard.
That's not unique to women though. That's, that goes both ways.
But do men do it where they trash each other for the sake of being in the limelight?
Of course.
Do they?
Yes.
Who? Do you know these men?
Everybody that I've removed myself from over the years.
Okay.
Like this is just something I haven't talked to you about yet, but I've been thinking to myself most of today about that my 20-year reunion is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I've thought a lot about the fact that most of these people that I went to school with that are probably going to be there, we don't keep in contact, outside of these gatherings. Like, we don't talk to each other. We don't see each other. Like,
once every 20 years.
We went to school together for, so many years. And, it's all well and good. Like, we get back together. We talk about each other's lives and stuff. But, like, we're not friends. We don't keep in close contact. We don't even see each other, like, rarely.
Yeah.
Like, there are some people in this group that are going to gather, in a couple of months. And I've removed a lot of those people from my life because, we grew and we changed.
Yeah.
Some of us realized what was important, and some of us decided to continue being children. And some of us decided to continue being pale, lumpy women.
Well, I mean, a situation like that, traditionally speaking, the
cliques.
The proverbial high school reunion is you go essentially to brag. You go to show off to people that you are either, you've aged well, you make a lot of money, you have a beautiful wife. Maybe.
But the thing is, like, I don't need to do that. I don't need to compete. I don't need to gloat. Like,
right.
If any of these people and I were really friends, like, we would see each other, outside of this
right.
one occasion. Because the last time I saw most of these people was at the 10-year reunion.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I understand we got jobs, kids, wives, lives, like, all the shit all the same traditional excuses.
Yeah.
And, I'd love to reconnect with some of these people, sure. But I also remember some of them being very snotty.
Snooty?
Snotty. I knew you were, yeah.
I must.
And just something I don't need him. Like, who's got the patience? Because some people just can't help it.
You think?
Some people just cannot help themselves from acting a certain way to give themselves that satisfactory sense of superiority.
I think that's baloney.
Yeah.
I refuse to believe that anybody, regardless of any factor whatsoever, that they can't help it.
Like, some people will listen to this podcast probably and misconstrue this as us in implying that we're superior. Like, I don't believe that I'm really superior. I not in the traditional sense. Like, the sense of, like, well, I have this, I have X, Y, and Z, so I'm better, and I, can do this, that, and the other thing, so I'm better than you. No, it's, I know my value because I know what I work towards. I know what I commit time towards in order to achieve my goals in life. That doesn't mean I'm a better person than somebody else. It just means I know how hard I work.
I believe, I don't know if I want to say this, but I'm going to. I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say that there are people who don't necessarily believe that they're better than others, but perhaps they believe that they're more enlightened than others, in that they have the self-awareness to sort of reflect on these behaviors, you know? The idea that like they recognize that people exist to they sort of reflect jealousies in each other, you know? But it's unnecessary. And therefore they can evolve to a point and be the type of person who doesn't act on jealousy, who actually does want to, you know, sort of reflect this idea. You're getting a lot of spam calls tonight.
Well, they can keep calling.
That they
Let's put them on blast. It should be like, here, Columbia, Connecticut. Fucking
where the fuck them. Is Columbia, Connecticut?
Nobody cares.
But that they want to move past that, and they want to be the type of person who supports, you know, others' successes and things like that.
I know I've said it to you. I don't know if I've said it on here, but I miss being the dumbest person in the room.
You do?
I miss being the dumb, because when you're the dumbest person in the room, I know it sounds silly, but when you're the dumbest person in the room, you have everything to learn.
I think that that's a very diplomatic outlook.
In recent years, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I've grown tired of being the smartest person in the room in a lot of situations, because I can feel the energy of people who are just sucking it out of me, because they don't give it their all in what they do. And I have grown to believe in giving more than you have to give.
You are the type of person who truly believes that everyone can do better.
Absolutely.
That there is no cap on that.
I can do better.
Yeah.
I can always do more. I can always do better.
Now, I'm about to call myself out, because I don't know that I've ever, with the exception of like certain intellectual situations, I've never felt like I wasn't the smartest person in the room. Not that I thought everyone else was dumb, but that I've always found myself in situations where other people, I've always felt like they're on my level. And that's actually when it becomes frustrating for me, because when I see them, you know, with this sort of, you know, this intelligence that they can utilize for whatever they want, and the idea that they still will look down on others.
Like, people at my job have turned their nose at me for having a college degree. What'd you waste all that money for? It's just like, what the fuck is the matter with you? First of all, why would you say something like that? Second, I'm supposed to feel bad about having a secondary education?
It's like, because I didn't plan to do this.
No, I didn't.
It's like, because I didn't plan to fucking do this.
And I don't have
to do this.
Like, I can go do any one of a million other things.
Hell yeah.
Like, why are you stuck here doing this?
Well, that's just it, is that people who blame their situation on others, not just other people, but other factors in their life. They always have the excuse, right? For why they couldn't do better, why they couldn't be doing something different, why they couldn't be a better person. There's always an excuse. People who say, well, I had a hard childhood. That is my least favorite excuse of all. A lot of us had a hard childhood. Not all of us turned out.
Define hard.
Exactly. Exactly. It's like, oh, well, I didn't, you know, I had a hard time in school. My parents weren't around a lot. You know, it's like, stop it.
Like, I'm scrolling this morning and that clip of Seinfeld popped up, the one where he's talking about how back in the 70s, life wasn't all about money. It was just like, how cool is your job?
Yeah.
And I'm scrolling through the comments, and people, you know, some people are for it, some people are against it. And it's just like, you know, and I stopped myself from commenting, but it's just like, okay, this is where my thought process was at. I don't have Seinfeld money, but I've got money, you know, and I don't have the best job, but I have a decent job. Okay. And I'm okay. Like, but it's all relative, because there's certainly people in the world with, you know, it's up for debate, but cooler jobs than him, more money than him. There's people in there with less money and less cooler jobs and less money than him. But it's just like, you know, it's everybody in the comments kind of read that interview, you know, in different ways.
Yeah.
Because, and it took me until today to kind of get it. Okay. It's not about how much money you have, and it's really not about how cool or how uncool your job is. It's the fact that, you know, he's shining a light on the fact that after the 70s, it became easier for guys to make a lot of money fast.
Yeah.
And then that kind of made it look glamorous.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, if I go do this, I'm going to get more money than this person or that person or whatever. And money is good because money is control and power and it gives you options and this and that and the other thing.
Money means success.
And security.
But
it doesn't mean happiness.
No, but that's just it. I've always believed that wealth and success are measured in joy.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when you have everything that you need, like you are officially a success at life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's wrong with that? You know, you have always, you have had that one person in your life for so long who constantly thinks that you should be striving to live your life the way that they do, that you should be striving to make more money. You should be looking for a bigger house. You should be having all of these things and everything. But that's just it, is that when you have someone like that in your life, it's like, what is wrong with being happy for somebody?
Well, because getting back to what you were saying earlier about, gender standards, the traditional, gender role, well, not roles, but like, the expectations of the genders, it's like women has to act this way and do this, that, and the other thing to, get a husband and blah, 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 blah. And a man has to do this, that, and the other thing to, be successful and be fit and be appealing to attract the right kind of woman. And it's just like, not everybody is built for that.
No. I've told you.
And not everybody has the kind of compassion for the people who aren't built that way that they could or should.
Yeah. I mean, I've told you many times that my grandmother, from the time I was like 10 years old, was telling me, she's like, pretty girls get rich husbands.
Like, one of the things that really throws me off about, a lot of like LGBT groups that I see out there that are promoting, their inclusivity and their tolerance. And it's like everybody's welcome. Everybody's welcome. Is everybody really welcome though?
They're not.
Are you just saying that to, make it appear as though, because like, am I welcome? Are you welcome? Is the dog welcome?
The dog would probably be welcome.
Because as soon as you have an opinion that differs from one of theirs, it's like, let's see how welcome they really are.
That's how most all-inclusive groups are,
Like, you've talked a lot over the years about real egalitarianism, and that's one of those things that like never really crossed my mind until you started saying it to me. It's just like, that seems really important to her. Like, what is that really? And then it's it pops in and out.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's given me a chance to really kind of weigh out hypocrisy.
Human beings are born with an innate equality. Period. Okay? Regardless of the circumstances.
You are a plucky duck.
Regardless of the circumstances into which they are born. Okay? Every human person is born with an innate sense of equality. It is then up to them to either embrace or reject their environment in order to achieve what they want. The unfortunate reflection of that, the other side of that coin, is that they then make the choice to either climb over people or everyone build up. They
stay in the pig pen.
Exactly. They have the option. Everyone says that, they sort of, everyone in a position of power wants to denounce and squash all of these people underneath them, saying, see, they didn't have the drive for it. They didn't have the ability for it. And when the have-nots go back to the haves and they say, well, we weren't afforded the opportunity. We weren't given everything that you were given. You were born with the silver spoon, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's like, no. That's not how it works. That's just not how it works. Everyone, whether they are a top or a bottom, in whatever situation, okay, you're there because Jesus Christ.
You're there because of Jesus Christ.
You're there because you chose it. Everyone has the opportunity. Everyone is born with an infinite number of opportunities to break whatever chains they believe is holding them back.
I'm about to break this chain.
Seriously, what the fuck?
How many times? How many?
That's at least 4 since we have begun this podcast.
They're leaving a voicemail. 3 missed calls.
What sort of spam list did you get yourself on? But that's just it, is that to blame other people and in so doing, like, sort of remove yourself from the idea of helping other people because no one's helped you. So why should you pay it forward? Why the fuck shouldn't you?
I've had a lot of hopeless moments where I'm like, why should I do X, Y, and Z because nobody's done it for? But you know, like, I've always been proud of the fact that at least when it comes to friends, like, I've never taken loans, I've never asked for favors, I've never, like, you know, I've certainly done them and given them, but it's just like, because I don't want to owe anybody,
right?
You know, like, I really didn't like taking handouts from my parents. And, you know, it took a long time for me to get to the point where I didn't need to anymore.
Yeah.
And even on her fucking deathbed, my mother was like, do you need anything? Anything you need? Do you need something? Like, can I do, you know? And I'm like, Ma, I'm good. I'm all right. You know?
But she didn't expect anything in return.
No, she didn't.
Truly.
She was the
did
one...
not expect anything in return. She was the true patron saint of non-transactional relationships, that woman. Okay? She did it right. She did it right. Bless her.
Like, literally trying, like
yeah,
inches from death, and she's trying to give me money.
Did she try and get up and make you dinner?
No.
Okay.
But I'm like, Ma, I can pay my own bills. I'm good.
That's just it, is that I weep. I weep for the condition of people these days where everyone keeps a tab.
That was a tough situation too, because it's just like, I always wanted to get to that point. Like, that was my personal goal, to get to a point where I didn't need to rely on anybody anymore. Like I would think that should be everybody's goal. It's like, don't you want to be self-sufficient, or do you always constantly want to be relying on somebody else to cover your ass?
Yeah.
And she didn't know how to understand. She couldn't understand that. She didn't know how to accept that, because, you know, as a parent, you know, her feeling was always, I always have to provide for my children. I always have to be their security blanket. Like, and it's like, but now I'm at a point where I don't, you know, but that's what she had to offer. And it brought her joy and satisfaction to continually be there for her kids, not just me, but my brothers as well.
Yeah.
But I needed, you know, and I tried telling my parents this for years. Like, I needed to prove to myself and to you guys that I could make it without relying on you.
I'm sorry to say, I'm imagining Homer from last night with the bowling ball doing the Mary Tyler Moore. I'm gonna make it after all.
I shouldn't say never, but
I just, you know, I think I'm grateful for the few people who seem to exist these days who are willing not only to truly, selflessly be available to other people, regardless of the circumstances.
And that's where my you know, empathetic attitude comes from, because, you know, it's hard to talk about this without getting emotional, but like, because of her influence, you know, and Dad too, he was the same way, you know, particularly after she died. Like, he was very, very openly generous. And I try to embody that myself as I go forward in life without them.
I think that it is, I don't want to say magnanimous of you, but it is. And I think that more people should recognize it.
I don't want recognition. I want people to employ it themselves.
Well, that's what I'm saying, to recognize that it is possible to be that type of person.
To you know, it would make me ecstatic if more people, you know, sought out the goal of becoming self-sufficient to the point where they can, you know, be openly generous, not just financially, but you know, morally and emotionally and educationally to other people.
And I think that it is,
and to not be sarcastic about it, to not, you know, treat it as something to make a joke of. It's like, there's a real weight to that, uh, being that type of person that so I'm losing the words here.
I think I get what you're saying. I don't have the word either. I don't have the word either though. But I think that it's not just, this idea of paying it forward, of realizing that you can be that that generous in all of those areas. But I think it's also on a lot of people to understand that it doesn't come with strings on both sides of that. It shouldn't. Magnanimity does not come with strings. Like the idea of, the most sincere form of charity is anonymous, right? Exactly. And it's that same idea, but interrelationally between people. This idea that, I don't have to remind you constantly that I was there for you. I don't have to remind you. It was my decision and even my joy that I could be there for you. And I appreciate that you let me be there for you. I don't think that exists anymore. And I think that that's an unfortunate thing.
It's just not prevalent like it was. It exists in, those that continue to hold it up.
Well, God willing, those people last forever. Because like with the Bake Off, it's just so heartwarming. It really does. And it's one of those, like those smile chains. I don't know what else to call them. The idea that like, this, like the Good Samaritan holds a door for you. You say thank you. So, maybe you turn around and you buy someone's coffee for them. And then they in turn, will give that money they would have spent on their coffee to a homeless person who maybe will, give a piece of bread to a dog or something like that. And it's just this snowball effect of good things happening, and that we don't need to be so cynical of it all the time.
Do you think technology has played a part in contributing to the selfishness of people in the modern day?
I don't know if it's contributed to the selfishness, but it has contributed to the cynicism, I believe.
Like I was coming back to the office and I'm behind this car, and this woman sees a school bus in the opposite lane, slams on the brakes, jumps out the window and just starts yelling. Like, I guess she had, just missed it and she was trying to get her kid off the bus. But like, I've got cars behind me and I'm hoping they don't slam into me, but she's, blocking the lane. Right. And it's like, so she veers off to the right. And I look, and she's got the phone in one hand and the cigarette in the other, and like
driving with one knee.
Yeah. And that actually happened earlier today too. I watched a kid run a stop sign with a phone in one hand and a cigarette in the other. And it's like, oh my God!
I think
with the hood up, like I don't understand why people are driving with the hoods up.
I don't understand that. I don't understand the people who drive with the earbuds in. I'm like, sorry, explain yourself.
Was there another one? Was there a fourth one?
Makes me wonder what all these they're all going to be the same voicemail also. We're calling to talk to you about your Comcast business listing.
Let's call it.
Let's call it.
Before I cuss somebody out on the air.
This was a good talk. I think this is one of those life lesson kind of moments, where you have the opportunity, and I wish that everyone would sort of take a little look inside and just turn inward for a quick minute and just really see whether or not they're doing it right. Because I think more people need, not necessarily need to change their ways, but need the self-awareness to know that maybe they should.
Well, I'm fairly certain that they've outlawed whaling.
And on that note, thank you for tuning in and sticking it with us. Find us on social media, DT Andy and JJ Star with 2 R's on Instagram. You can also email us at dtandyandjjstar@gmail.com with questions, comments, concerns for our well-being, conversation starters, and enders. You can find Love Hard Art, Tax Collectors and Harlots, and Coat of Arms Tattoo Gallery on Instagram. You can also find Coat of Arms and the two of us hanging out at the New England Tattoo Expo in at Mohegan Sun Casino in Uncasville, Connecticut. We will be there on Sunday, walking around, chilling. There's a dog coming. Hi. She'll be there too.
I just saw her little peeper.
Yeah. And yes, April 17th, 18th, and 19th. Be there and be square. Do you have any shows coming up?
April 4th, Cherry Street in Wallingford, Connecticut.
There you go. Find them. Who's that with?
I don't remember.
Do you remember?
No.
All right. Well, you can find...
I might even be wrong about that date.
Well, go and check out the Instagram because I know that it's listed there. They got a whole calendar, and you can...
I'm tired.
Yeah, it's been a big one. But we're about to turn in on another 11th hour Gooden, and in the meantime,
I was gonna say Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day
Go
again.
get your corned beef or your pastrami or your boiled potatoes, and it's the day after will be you'll get a recap of that next episode.
Yes, we'll do that next week. In the meantime, download Podbean and give us a like and follow so we can make more money. You can find all of our podcast streaming at ttppodcast.com and all of our videos at dtandyandjjstar.com. And that is, in fact, a full lid from the three of us at That Talking Podcast. I'm JJ Star.
And I'm Downtown Andy.
We'll talk to you later.